inside Tennessee this Sunday morning. John North, my colleague, with us to help us sort out the money matters on Super Tuesday.
And count down the intro, too.
Yes, indeed. He's great at that.
I'm multi-talented.
Susan, you made the point on election night to our viewers who watched us on YouTube that money can matter, and it should be about $25K to run for county commission.
County commission, 25 to 50, depending on, how many people are in it and how close the race.
And that would be for the whole race,
yeah,
right?
the whole thing.
So,
right.
John,
he's about to surprise us.
Let's talk about some of the dollar figures we're seeing after the latest reporting.
Let's do the assessor's race first, because that looks to me like was the most heavily spent race. And this is the most recent figures, which would have been filed in late February. Phil Ballard spending $79,816 and still had $10K on hand. Jackie Raley spent $36,900 and has $37,000, or did as of the report in late February, $37,675 still on hand. So
wow.
He way outspent her, but I think she was thinking, well, I've got that
She's
money.
thinking
I can
for the general.
spend a little bit later.
More than one candidate's made that mistake. They were holding back, and unfortunately, I think Susan and I both were a little surprised by that race, and maybe wistful if nothing else. But it doesn't surprise me that Phil Ballard won. I just thought at the end of the day, if you had to ask me which one to bet on, I wouldn't have bet on Phil.
Well, there are a whole lot of people in that building, the city-county building, who feel very strongly about one candidate or the other, very strongly. And both of those folks are very well known in county politics.
Yes, they are.
Really well known.
Susan, let's talk about some other money races. And John, you're going to break them down.
Yeah.
But
How about that?
Let's hear about that District 1 Republican.
Yeah.
Because for $800, you can be the nominee
we were chuckling
and lose
about
in
that
the general.
So you had two gentlemen running as Republicans in District 1. Keep in mind, that is traditionally a Democratic district. It's also the only race where you had two Democrats and two Republicans vying. So that was interesting. Charles Frazier spent $877 and had $30 on hand. And Hearst had spent $1,451 and had $27.58 on hand. So neither of them spent much of anything, which is
They
really
can go share a nice lunch, and
that ain't a whole lot. That's that's like a deli tray or something.
Yeah, that's what we said. Generally, it's a $25,000 raise, something like that, for a county commission seat. But again, this is a Republican primary in District 1. It's not, I don't know as any Republicans
it's
ever
blue as blue.
won.
No.
Won that seat. So you don't want to go out and raise and spend a lot of money if you don't think you have much of a chance to win.
I might suggest a couple more county commission races, and then I want to tell you about one school board race, because it's also interesting. We've been talking about the South Knox County race. That's number 9. That's Andy Fox and Barry Neal. Andy Fox won that race, spent $32,000 and had $5,000 on hand. Again, latest reports as of late February. Barry Neal spent $12,000 and had $2,000 on hand.
Mr. Fox, not shy about his conservatism, and as we mentioned on election night, again, this is a school board that is partisan now. Again, we go back to that 5-4 majority for Republicans, if you will, on the board.
And in the general, that's the district Matthew Park, the Democrat,
That's right.
will be running. Do
That's
we
right.
know what
That's right.
he spent?
I didn't look.
He didn't spend anything.
Probably didn't
He
spend
didn't have to
anything. He
spend
was
anything.
unopposed.
No, and I mentioned this Wednesday night. If the Democrats, both local and state, feel like that there is a good, viable, hardworking candidate, don't worry about funding. They're going to get funded. Now, they're going to have to knock on doors and do a lot of work, but in the districts that have become more competitive for the Democrats throughout Knoxville and Knox County, they will get funded. So the Democrats have a little bit of an advantage, and they didn't really have to contest any elections
They had a pass.
in the primary. That's right.
That's a race that we will be looking at closely, and you can bet Matthew Park will be working the doors hard on that. He'll be doing a lot of door knocking. Okay, the other county commission race I wanted to mention to you was one we were paying great attention to on election night, which was District 5. That's Southwest Knox County Farragut. That's the one Angela Russell won, and some people are like, who is that? All right, so she was the top spender, interestingly enough, at least according to late February reports, spent $15,472, pardon me, had $12,159 that she spent, had $7,000 on hand. Tony Scott, $15,478 she spent, but you had 5 candidates and 4 of them spent pretty liberally. And then I just want to mention one last race. It's a school board race, and it's that District 8 school board race. Benet profiled that because Mr. Wright has advanced, and he's now the school board member. He spent $8,677, and the documents, if they're correct, his opponent, Mr. Lakin, spent nothing.
Really?
Well, interesting, and not a bad play for Mr. Wright, because it was a walk right into the seat the very next day, given there was no Democratic challenger. Again, a very red district, but I am disappointed that the Democrats, we couldn't find somebody to put up an 8, not as a sort of a District 1 sacrificial lamb type person, but there are some good people out there that could have run under the Democratic banner, and probably would have run identifying Democrat if it was nonpartisan, because it'll become very hard to win as a Democrat in 8 for quite some time.
We're going to talk more about some of those matchups between the D's and the R's to come in August, because we made a lot about the law director race, but we will see a challenge to that in August. So we'll be back with that to set up those head-to-head matchups. Stay with us right here on Inside Tennessee.